This conference will now be recorded.
So today is Monday, June 29th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. All right, so first thing, the reason I have it up right now is we just got a really easy trade that just came into this BHTG. So the first thing that we're looking at is that we do have a little bit of buying as it was coming up towards those highs, but not really as much as we really would like. So we've been building a bit, but the real big thing that stuck out just, I mean, it was just kind of, I don't want to say obvious. Well, it's kind of pretty obvious. And let's see. So we got some of those bid prints that came in. But if you look right afterwards, our immediate reaction that ended up coming into the stock was just that beautiful buying. We saw a real nice shorter term position come in. You could see 309 followed it. And this thing has just kind of been on its way ever since. So right now, obviously, it's a little bit too late because we do not have enough buying at the tops for somebody to be entering. So you're going to need to see what happens at that 350 level to really give us a better idea of if we're going to be able to not only get to that double top, but have enough buying to actually break it down and be able to break through that and continue on its way. Overall, so far this morning, it's actually been a pretty easy read, even though it's only 9.1 million shares being traded already. When a position comes in, the print personality is not as big as you would think. So even, for instance, like right here at this 340 is a large position in comparison to what we were just typically seeing coming in out there. So make sure that we understand our print personalities, and then obviously we do need to see what's going to happen at 350. Not having the buying there up higher kind of hurts us a little bit because of those aspirants at 340. Yeah, does it need to hit 350 at some point? It really should. But the problem is that if you get in at like 342 and then it hits that 350 on the ask, we get some real big orders coming into there. We're going to end up seeing a pullback anyway. So really going to depend a lot on, first of all, either a better pullback to then go towards those 340 prints or going to that 350 and getting the controlling ones. Next thing looking at is LCA. If I can type this. All right, so LCA, very interesting this morning. So if it lets me go all the way back, which is going to, so we can see starting off right here, 819, 1355, really like this. Now, I saw a little bit of selling at 1350, but that's to be expected. I'm not really too worried about that whatsoever, but these 355 prints that came in are definitely telling us a lot. Then we had even more buying coming in at that 14. Then you can see some real big prints coming in around that 1355 again. So somebody's definitely watching it there. Now, this 14 selling, once again, I'm not that, it does need a bigger pullback because of the amount of buying that we saw coming into it. So I'm not really worried about these prints as much. It really kind of looks more of, instead of a short, it kind of looks more of somebody getting out of a position, not just being their spot at that 14 to be getting out. But once again, it does need that pullback to come in. And then you can see 1405 and then 1360. We're still getting some really nice buying that's coming in here. So bigger pullback, definitely going to be looking for it to come down into that 1325, 13 area. And then obviously a trigger towards that upside will definitely work because we do have the buying that's going to be up there. WKHS obviously going to be on our list. So this morning is kind of interesting. It's been stuck in consolidation for a lot of the morning. You can see 8 o'clock, we got our purple prints. It's got some selling at 12. It's got some buying at 12, 1170. We can see there's a pretty decent position there. But once again, I don't see, and this is one of those stocks that we know can move and we know can get real nasty when it wants to. So I don't really see anything in it yet that really jumps out at me and says, okay, I can't wait to trade this. So I'm going to be looking for a little bit more, and I'm going to be looking really essentially for them to continue to build within this consolidation that we've been seeing this morning, because I have been seeing a lot more building than I have been seeing distributing. So overall, it's there, but it needs more. I need to see something, especially for coming into the morning, and we do have a pretty big list. Next thing is INO, and obviously I hope everyone's been out there trying to get as many shares for the stocks that are on our list as and doing it as early as possible, because as the saying goes, the early bird does catch the worm. All right, so INO, another one where we had shares available. So coming into this, we can see we pushed up on not really anything towards 8 o'clock. And as we've been on our way back down, we have been getting some pretty decent selling. You can see that 29 right there, 29.50, it's okay. But overall, it's another one where I need to see a little bit more. But one thing that's just to understand is its personality at this moment is a few prints is going to go a very, very long way. So understand that when you're looking for your show of hands to come into the stock, that if it's bigger than what we're seeing right now, it's going to mean a whole lot. It's going to hold a ton of weight, because at the moment, 2, 3, 4 prints means, $1 at least. So Overall, beautiful trend coming down into this double bottom. Definitely want to see what happens at that 29.50 because right there it looks like we pushed into it and we did not hit, which obviously 28.52 is not hitting, and kind of pulling back from there. But overall, like I said, just need a little bit more to come into there, but should be a nice another. We know that there's going to be a big range and it should be another nice trade for us. Next thing is SHL. Oops. SHLL. So we were watching this on Friday. And then coming into this morning, it's a little bit another one where it's kind of I'm a little bit torn between what I'm looking for. Now we got some really nice buying for most of the morning, but now as we're coming into 9 o'clock, you could see a little bit before the selling at 29, we had 28.50 selling, and I just wasn't happy with the riders that came in afterwards to kind of push us back up. So 21.50, yes, does have a pretty decent position that just came in on the ass that we're kind of pulling back from, but this right here, this position, I cannot take that as being able to break a 30 psychological level. So unfortunately, these prints, even though they fit the criteria of 4 prints in a burst, I can't take them as controlling. And that the reason being is just it's not enough from what I've seen coming into this morning for us to be able to just kind of shoot past that 30 and not end up pulling back and seeing a lot of profit taking coming in once the market opens. So another one where I'm going to need to see something a little bit better. And really the 29 gave us a pretty big position. That really showed us that somebody was looking to get out there, and I just haven't seen it being replaced or built for us to get back up there. So another one where I'm going to be I'm a little bit bearish at the moment. Obviously, yes, there's 29.50 prints that do need to make money, but based off, I'm a bearish on a pullback side of things. And then obviously getting some better, controlling prints to come into it will give us a little bit more information. VXRT next on our list. So remember on Friday when we were coming into the end of the day, we ended up getting selling at 10, we're selling at 9, selling at 8. There's a lot of selling that came into this. So I'm not shocked at all that this thing popped up, but you can see once it popped up, there just wasn't really anything going on. I haven't really seen any type of great buying coming into it, but I have seen a lot of selling. You come back over here, you can see 960 into 950, 951, nice position. There is a lot of selling coming in on this downtrend. Now it's trading a little bit consolidated at the moment. Once the market opens, we should definitely see that kind of smoothing out a bunch. But overall, it's the same type of deal. Overall, I mean, the selling, is definitely there for us to come back. And I know Natesh is going to love the gap fill that we're going to be looking for because we do have selling towards that side. But once again, I just need to see a little bit more. I mean, 3.8 million shares is definitely great. But we're kind of in limbo right this second from that selling that we had before, and you could see the pop up and then beautiful move towards the downside, which definitely would have been a trigger that we would have taken for a short trade coming in. But I just want to see more selling continuing underneath that 950 because that's a big spot people would end up selling. Excuse me. And I just have not seen enough. Ooh, all right. Next thing looking at is ICPT. So this isn't going to 98. Well, it could, just not at this exact moment. ICPT, next one on our list. Okay, so you can see this looks like garbage, but right now there's not a ton going on. Once the market opens, this thing has a very, very big range, and you can see it fell from 77.49 all the way to 47.89 where we're at right now. So the volume's okay. I would definitely like to see a lot more coming into it. But if you look, the selling, as we've been coming, towards that downside, it's just kind of Well, once again, the few prints in a stock like this is going to go a very long way. I just haven't seen controlling prints that I'm really comfortable with to tell us that, this thing has the ability to, kind of bottom fish it and come back up. And I really haven't seen enough to tell us that we're going to be looking for the sell to the downside. Because if we look, 50 is very mixed right there. And then 48, there's a little bit of selling around it. There's a few ask prints at it. It's, it's kind of up in the air. So just, one show of hand that comes into the stock is going to lead the stock to a large range. So really that's what we're going to be looking for at this moment because of those 48 ask prints and the selling that was coming in. I am going to be looking for a little bit of a rebound coming back up. But remember, 50 is a huge psychological level. So another one that's not in the best position for an actual trade because a stock like this, based off the amount of range that we're going to see in the risk versus reward, we want to be able to make, over $2.50, somewhere in the range of $5 to actually risk the money because a shake is not going to be easy to be able to control your loss. And just make sure that you understand that it's definitely based off of what I'm seeing in the pre-market right now. Its personality showing us that it's going to be a little bit crazy. So just make sure, I wouldn't, I would never trade a stock like ICPT for 50 cents because the risk versus reward is impossible to cut your loss that quickly. For instance, let's say 10 cents. It's almost going to be impossible to cut a loss for 10 cents within this. So make sure that you get that show of hand that's going to show a very large range within what that person has to make for that position. And other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. We got a pretty long list. We have a lot of potential and a lot of prints that have came out this morning. It's just a few things we need to see more. And that's really at the end of the day what I'm going to be looking for. So anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there that I missed? I think that is it. All right, guys, so let's get ready for our morning. All right, just like we talked about before, make sure that if you do, hopefully everybody did go over the patterns in their trading from last week and they are ready for today. Make sure you're focusing on the thing that's going to affect your trading the most and the quickest. All right, guys, talk to everyone in the chat and happy trading.